In module 3 of chapter 1, we are going to discuss some important subsets of natural numbers. They are called polygonal numbers, and we also see their important properties. These polygonal numbers are will construct from the sum of the arithmetic progressions. So, they have very nice geometrical properties. So, we will going to explore all these things now. So, now we are in module 3. Module 3 is about polygonal numbers. So, these are the learning objectives: introduction to polygonal numbers, and next one we will see few properties of triangular and square numbers. These triangular and square numbers are also polygonal numbers, but it is difficult to cover all the polygonal numbers. So, just we will confine to properties of triangular and square numbers. So, first we will define what is a polygonal number. A number which corresponds to the number of points on a regular polygonal or discrete geometric pattern of equally spaced points is called figure 8 number. It is a number which corresponds to number of points on a regular polygonal discrete geometric pattern of equally spaced points is called figure 8 number. There are these numbers further classified as polygonal, polyhedral, polytopic numbers based on their arrangement on a regular polygon or regular polyhedron or a regular polytope respectively. So, we will introduce these terms slowly one by one. So, polygonal figure 8 numbers are simply polygonal numbers are the numbers which can be arranged as a regular polygon such as equilateral triangle or a square or a pentagon or hexagon etc., will denote nth term of the nth polygonal number as P m of n. For example, P 3 of n, P 4 of n, P 5 of n, these represents P 3 of n represents nth triangular number, P 4 of n represents nth square number, P 5 of n represents nth pentagonal number respectively. So, why these we are calling these as triangular, square or pentagonal numbers, that we have to see. So, if you look at this following table, so P m of n we defined that P m of n equal to n by 2 into 2 plus n minus 1 into m minus 2, that proof also we will see shortly, but before that just look at other rows of this table. If first triangular numbers are denoted like this: P 3 of n is equal to n into n plus 1 by 2. Instead of this formula, just look at 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up to n. So, triangular numbers are some of the first n natural numbers, that is a better way to define. Okay. So, triangular number P 3 of n is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to n. So, we know that 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to n is equal to n into n plus 1 by 2. So, if you plug in n equal to 0, we will get 0, n equal to 1 we will get 1, n equal to 2 I will get 3, n equal to 3 if we substitute we will get 6 and so on. So, 0, 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21, 28 and these numbers are called triangular numbers. So, we will see why these are called triangular numbers as well. So, that may be one of the reason that we used subscript as 3, P 3 of n, triangular. Now, n equal to 4, square numbers. So, that is here if you look at in the triangular numbers case we took 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus and so on plus n. 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, and they are in arithmetic progression with common ratio is 1. In 1 plus 3 plus 5 and so on 2 n minus 1, here the common ratio is 2. So, these are all again 1, 3, 5 and so on, they are in arithmetic progression, but in this case the common difference is 2. So, it is possible to evaluate the total sum since they are in arithmetic progression. So, that is why it is possible to derive that formula P m of n in the starting formula. So, if you plug in here n equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on, we are going to get 0, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25 and 36 and so on. Now, I hope you realize that these numbers are also square numbers. So, these numbers we can extend further, that is, for example, if you take pentagonal numbers, then that is 1 plus 4 plus 7 plus and so on 3 n minus 2. Again 1 4 7 it is an arithmetic progression with common difference is 3. So, their sum is going to be, we can show that it is equal to n into 3 n minus 1 by 2. So, we are going to get the numbers, pentagonal numbers are 0, 1, 5, 12 and so on. Here 0 is common everywhere, we took it is because if I substitute 0 we will always get 0, since all these numbers are multiples of n, there is n lies there. And further these are just sum of integers. So, obviously, they are multiples of n. The next one is hexagonal numbers. Hexagonal numbers are again we will add 1 plus 5 plus 9 plus and so on 4 n minus 3. So, here also they are in arithmetic progression, now common difference is 4. In this way we can extend it further, means not only for 6 we can add 7 septagonal numbers, octagonal numbers, like that we can extend this system actually. So, now we will see geometrically why these are called triangular, square numbers and so on. If you look at here triangular numbers, first we have just only one dot. So, now that is 1. So, 1 plus 2, for example 1, next we am putting 2 dots and adding. So, 1 plus 2 the total 3. So, next time we added 1 dot plus 2 dots plus 3 dots, 1 plus 2 plus 3. So, next we are adding 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. So, and so on, these that is why they are forming a triangle, that is why these numbers are called triangular numbers. Similarly, square numbers. So, first 1, then I am adding 3. So, 1 plus 3, if you look at the third square here, that means the one dot and the square, then another one, it contains 2 squares, one square inside. If you look at that one, first corner 1 point, then 3 points, that small square will be formed with 4 points. Now, the remaining how many points we added? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, total 1 plus 3 plus 5. If a last square if you look at, that is 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7. So, all these points are placed equally and they form a polygon. That is the reason they are called polygon numbers. In particular, these numbers are forming a square. So, that is why they are called square numbers. So, similarly, we can look for pentagonal numbers as well. So, this is one of the reason they are called figure 8 numbers. So, now we are drawn in a plane. So, they are called polygonal numbers. So, in general this Pm of n now we can calculate. So, if you look at P3 of n case, the common difference is 1. In P4 of n common difference is 2. In P5 of n common difference is 3. So, in general Pm of n the common difference is going to be m minus 2. So, the first number is 1 plus 0 into m minus 2 plus second term in the sum of the sequence is 1 plus 1 into m minus 2 and so on. The last one is 1 plus n minus 1 into m minus 2. I have to add all of them. So, that is the summation, and we know that if we have an arithmetic progression, then the sum of all those first n numbers is equal to n times half of first term plus last term. So, it is going to be, if we calculate a little bit, then we are going to end up with this formula, that is Pm of n is equal to n by 2 times n plus n minus 1 into m minus 2. So, it is easy to see that Pm of n satisfies the following recurrence relation as well. Pm of n plus 1 is equal to Pm of n plus 1 plus n into m minus 2, where Pm of 1 is equal to 1. So, for example, if I take P7 of n plus 1, then it is P7 of n plus 1 plus 5 into n. So, now we are going to define a generating function for a sequence. Let a0, a1, a2 and so on be a sequence of real numbers. Then the generating functions of the sequence is denoted by summation n is equal to 0 to infinity a n into x power n. That means, in this series the coefficient of x power n is a n, okay, that is the nth term of the given sequence. Then this series is called the generating function for the sequence. Now, our objective is to find a generating function for mth polygonal number. So, we will state first formally. So, the theorem is the generating function for the sequence P m of n is x into 1 plus m minus 3 into x by 1 minus x whole cube. Here this we need to consider mod x is less than 1. So, what it means? So, in order to get the value of P m of n, then it is sufficient to expand this x into 1 plus x m minus 3 by x by 1 minus x whole cube and look at the x power nth coefficient. X power nth coefficient in this series, that means if you expand it we will get a series. In that series the x power n quotient is P m of n. So, that we have to show. So, we will prove one by one. So, first for mod x less than 1 we have this 1 by 1 minus x is equal to 1 plus x square and so on. This is familiar to us. This is what we call geometric series. In other words, what this says is 1 by 1 minus x is a generating function for the sequence 1 1 1 1 1. It is because if you take any term in that series, say x square quotient is 1, x cube quotient is 1, x power 4 quotient is 1. So, in general x power n quotient is 1. So, this 1 by 1 minus x is generating function for the sequence. So, now if I differentiate equation 1 both sides with respect to x, we will get 1 by 1 minus x whole square is equal to 1 plus 2 x plus 3 x square and so on. Now, here you can see that 1 by 1 minus x square is generating function for the sequence 1 2 3 and so on. Okay. So, again if we differentiate equation 1, that is 1 by 1 minus x equal to 1 plus x square and so on twice, then what we are going to get is 2 by 1 minus x whole cube is equal to 1 into 2 plus 2 into 3 x plus 3 into 4 x square and so on. So, or equivalently what we are going to get if I divide that 2 both sides, if I divide it by 2, then I will get 1 by 1 minus x whole cube is equal to 1 into 2 by 2 plus 2 into 3 by 2 into x and so on. So, here if you look at what we are getting n into n plus 1 by 2, but only problem is if you look at x power 4 coefficient, x power 4 coefficient is 5 into 6 plus 5 into 6 by 2. It is not 4 into 4 plus 1 by 2. So, we need to do little modification here. Thus, x by 1 minus x whole cube equal to 0 plus 1 into 2 by 2 x plus 2 by 2 into 3 by 2 into x square and so on. So, that means that x by 1 minus x whole cube is a generating function for the sequence 0 1 3 6 10 and so on. In other words, x by 1 minus x whole cube is the generating function for the triangular numbers. More generally, now we will find the generating function for the mth polygonal numbers. So, that is we will calculate that x into 1 plus m minus 3 into x by 1 minus x whole cube. We have to calculate that value. If you calculate that one, it is going to be like this, means that is summation n equal to 0 to infinity n into n plus 1 by 2 into 1 plus m minus 3 into x power n. If you separate terms from n into n plus 1 by 2 into 1 into x power n, that quantity, and n into n plus 1 by 2 into m minus 3 into x into x power n, that is x power n plus 1. So, but since m minus 3 is independent of n, so I can bring m minus 3 outside. So, we are going to get summation n is equal to 0 to infinity n into n plus 1 by 2 into x power n plus summation n is equal to 0 to infinity m minus 3 into n minus 1 into n by 2 into x power n. So, here we done a little calculation, so that we are going to get, see the modification which we done is n into n plus 1 by 2 is now modified with n minus 1 into n by 2. So, because of this what happens, so we will get x power n there. So, now this is also equal to, now if we simplify a little bit, then we are going to get n into n plus 1 by 2 plus n minus 1 into n into m minus 3 by 2 into x power n. So, if you further simplify, we are going to get, this is summation n is equal to 0 to infinity n by 2 into 2 plus n minus 1 into m minus 2 whole multiplied by x power n. So, here the x power n coefficient is the mth polygonal number. So, thus we proved that the generating function for the sequence of mth polygonal number is x into 1 plus m minus 3 into x by 1 minus x whole cube. As we saw, polygonal numbers are subsets of non-negative integers having nice geometrical properties. These numbers derived as a partial sums of arithmetic progressions of non-negative integers. Now, we are going to see many of the properties of these numbers. Few properties of triangular numbers. Let t belongs to n, then t is a triangular number if and only if 80 plus 1 is a perfect square. We want to prove this result. It says that whenever t is a triangular number, then 80 plus 1 is a perfect square. So, proof is let t is equal to P3 of n. It is given, we are assuming that t is a triangular number. So, triangular number are expressed as P3 of n, where P3 of n is a nth triangular number. So, 80 plus 1 if you take, then mere substitution, 80 plus 1 becomes 8 into n plus n into n plus 1 by 2 plus 1. So, it is end up with 2 n plus 1 whole square. So, clearly this is a perfect square. Now, we have to prove the converse part. So, assume conversely suppose that 80 plus 1 is a perfect square, then 80 plus 1 is equal to 2 n plus 1 whole square. It is because 80 plus 1 is an odd integer. So, it is a square of some odd integer. So, that is why we took 80 plus 1 is equal to 2 n plus 1 whole square for some n belongs to n. As 80 plus 1 is odd integer, thus 80t is equal to 2 n into 2 n plus 2. Hence, we will get t hence we will get t is equal to P3 of n. So, this is a if and only if condition. So, every triangular number will get a perfect square, and from every odd perfect square we are going to get one triangular number. Now, so further properties are these: P3 of n is nth triangular number, then P3 of n plus P3 of n minus 1 is equal to n square. That means, if we add two consecutive triangular numbers, then I am getting a square number. So, here we are proving by taking P3 of n plus P3 of n. Just if you evaluate algebraically, what we are going to get is P3 of n is n into n minus 1 by 2, and P3 of n minus 1 is n into n plus 1 by 2. So, total sum is going to be n square, that is P4 of n. So, another way to write it is I will take P3 of n, this is alternative proof, just we are adding in a different way, a nice way, that 1 plus 2 plus P3 of n is 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to n, and P3 of n minus 1 I am starting from just I am leaving 1 plus 2 plus 3 and so on. Now, if we add as a column wise, then we are going to get 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus and so on. This we know that this is the nth square number. So, there is another way to prove this one also. If you look at the table, this is third way to prove. So, n is natural numbers, P3 of n is the triangular numbers, P3 of n minus 1 again triangular numbers, but starts from 0. So, if you add, we will get all square numbers. So, similarly, n cube minus n minus 1 whole cube is equal to 6 into P3 of n minus 1 plus 1. That is difference of two cubes. Earlier we saw that sum of two consecutive triangular numbers is square. Now, we are looking the difference of two consecutive cubes. This is also related to triangular number. So, proof is very simple, straightforward. So, if you compute what we are doing here is that we are expanding n minus 1 whole cube, then we are going to get 3 n square minus 3 n plus 1. So, it will be simplified to 6 into n minus 1 by n plus 1, that is nothing but 6 into P3 of n minus 1 plus 1. So, again here also if you look at carefully, n cube I take all the cubes, n minus 1 whole cube minus n cube is those numbers will get. The pattern here if you observe, 7 is nothing but 6 into 1 plus 1, 19 is nothing but 6 into 3 plus 1, 37 is nothing but 6 into 6 plus 1 and so on. So, this is a nice pattern. This is another way to prove also just by observing this. Next one is, if I add two triangular numbers, means eighth triangular number and bth triangular number, and if I add their product a into b, then I am going to get another triangular number, that is p 3 of a plus p 3 of b plus a into b is equal to p 3 of a plus b. So, again proof is straightforward, just we have to plug in the values. P 3 of a is eighth triangular number. So, this is a into a plus 1 by 2, bth triangular number b into b plus 1 by 2 plus a b. So, if you simplify, we are going to get p 3 of a plus b. Similarly, p 3 of 2n is equal to 3 into p 3 of n plus p 3 of n minus 1. So, this is also mere calculation. So, we are end up with like that. So, another result is p 3 of 3 n minus 1 is equal to 3 times p 3 of n plus 6 times p 3 of n minus 1. So, here what we are if you look at this, one triangle number is again expressed as a multiple of 3, sum of two triangular numbers, means 3 times p 3 of n, that is a triangular number, p 3 of n minus 1, that is also a triangular number. So, again proof is straightforward. So, what we have to do, 3 into p 3 of n plus 6 into p 3 of n minus 1, if you plug in those values, we will end up with 3n into 3n minus 1 by 2, that is nothing but p 3 of 3n minus 1. So, similar to other result is this p 3 of n minus 1 plus p 3 of n plus 1, that means it is not a sum of consecutive triangular numbers, but we will leave the middle one, then we will get that is 2 times the middle triangular number plus 1. This is also one of the nice property of the triangular numbers. So, proof again just by plugging the values we will get the answer. So, only thing we have to observe is this triangular numbers satisfying a nice properties, means if I add two triangular numbers by leaving one, two consecutive not two triangle numbers by leaving middle one, then their sum is equal to 2 times the middle one plus 1. So, it is nice that one has to verify all these results. One can take these are exercise, but some places we are given hints also. So, the first one is saying that p 3 of 1 plus p 3 of 2 plus and so on p 3 of n, that is equal to n into n plus 1 into n plus 2 by 6. We know that the product of 3 consecutive integers is divisible by 3 factorial, that is 6. So, that is an integer, and those integers also have a nice properties. And even n power 4, look at the second problem, n power 4 is expressed as again sum of triangular numbers. And the third problem is we are expressing p 3 of a b, product of two numbers, p 3 of triangular number of a b is equal to triangle number of a into triangle number of b plus triangle number of a minus 1 and into triangle number of b minus 1 triangle number. So, these are very nice properties of these triangular numbers. If you look at eighth one, it is also very interesting, 1 plus 9 square and so on 9 power n is equal to p 3 of 3 power n plus 1 minus 1 by 2. That means, all the numbers of that form 1 plus 9 square and so on plus 9 power n is a triangular number. Similarly, the seventh property also, it is a very nice property, that is nth triangle number square is equal to sum of the cubes of the first n natural numbers, that is or equivalently 1 cube plus 2 cube and so on plus n cube is equal to n into n plus 1 by 2 whole square. Of course, these results can be proved by induction as well, but it is nice to prove nice to see the different proofs. So, similarly, the last result. So, now we are going to show that the reciprocals of n triangular numbers is equal to 2 into n 2n by n plus 1. So, that is we have to evaluate 1 by p 3 of 1 plus 1 by p 3 of 2 and so on 1 by p 3 of n. So, that is we need to evaluate summation k equal to 1 to n 2 by k into k plus 1. This is a nice example that what we are doing here is that 1 by k into k plus 1 we written as 1 by k minus 1 by k plus 1. So, now if you expand it, we are going to get 1 minus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3 and so on. This is what we call telescopic sum. So, we end up with 2 n by n plus 1. That means, the sum of the reciprocals of first n triangular numbers is 2 n by n plus 1. That means, if I take infinite series, each term is reciprocal of a triangular number, then the partial sums, nth partial sum value is equal to 2 n by n plus 1. So, consequently, this result is giving an extra input for us, that is sum of the reciprocals of first n triangular numbers is less than 2. So, is it going to be what is the use of this one? We will see in a next problem. The sum of reciprocals of all triangular numbers is 2. The proof is straightforward. Again, Sn is the nth partial sum of this series. Then we already showed that Sn is equal to 2 n by n plus 1. So, that 2 n by n plus 1 can be written as 2 into 1 minus 1 by n plus 1. Hence, this if we take a limit on both sides, so we are going to get sum of all reciprocals of all the triangular numbers, that is equal to 2. Okay, this is interesting property, that sum of the reciprocals of triangular numbers is equal to 2. So, another result is P5 of n, that is nth pentagonal number is equal to nth square number plus n minus 1th triangular number. So, there is a relation between the polygonal numbers also. So, proof is very easy, just to plug in the values of P4 of n and P3 of n minus 1, we will end up with P5 of n. Similarly, we have other results, that P3 of n plus 3 times P3 of n minus 1 is equal to P6 of n, that is nth hexagonal number. Again, proof is straightforward, just we need to calculate 3 times P3 of n minus 1 plus P3 of n, we will end up with P6 of n. Also, P6 of n is equal to P3 of 2 n minus 1. Proof is straightforward, but what this result is saying, all hexagonal numbers are in fact a triangular numbers. That means that set of all hexagonal numbers is a subset of set of all triangular numbers. So, proof is easy, we are skipping the proof. Similarly, P m of n is equal to P m minus 1 of n plus P 3 of n minus 1. So, triangular numbers are there everywhere, means every nth term of mth polygonal number and nth term of m minus 1 polygonal number also, they are related with the triangular number, n minus 1 triangular number. So, again proof is straightforward. In this module, we saw many important properties of polygonal numbers. It is nice to prove these results geometrically. I request you to see a book on numbers by Conway. So, in that book they given very geometrical proofs of all these properties, and further if you look at the proof we done for the sum of the reciprocals of triangle numbers, which is equal to 2, it is nice to extend these results to other polygonal numbers. That is, for example, if you take sum of the reciprocals of squares, what is this equal to? This problem took very many years to solve. Finally, Euler proved that 1 by 1 plus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 4 square and so on, this total sum is equal to pi square by 6. Similarly, it is better to look at other problems, means sum of the reciprocals of polygonal numbers, other polygonal numbers other than the triangle numbers and square numbers, then what is the sum is equal to. It is easy to see that if you go on like this, what is happening is sum of the reciprocals of triangle numbers is equal to 2, whereas sum of the reciprocals of square numbers is pi square by 6, that is less than 2. So, like that this sum is decreasing, and further one do not know that this total sum is equal to a rational number or an irrational number, that is also a nice problem. Another interesting thing is that Fermat asked the following problem: every natural number can be written as sum of at most 3 triangle numbers. Similarly, every natural number can be written as at most 4 square numbers. Every natural number can be written as at most 5 pentagonal numbers, and so on. So, this problem also took very long time to solve. Gauss proved for the triangular case, that is, he proved that every natural number can be written as sum of at most 3 triangular numbers. Lagrange proved that every natural number can be expressed as at most sum of 4 square numbers, and so on. So, at last Cauchy proved for all the case, but this proof is very little difficult. So, with this we will end this module.